guys, welcome back to Matthew's Ballistics. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I have found an area that I can shoot up to about 2,200 yards, and it's actually in the National Forest area. And this also may be some helpful information for some of you guys that are looking to, shoot or have a place to shoot, but don't really have any area that's designated for shooting long range. If you go on the National Forest website, you can look up, they've got a section called Know Before You Go, and they've got a subsection under that for target shooting, actually, where they list their regulations on target shooting in the National Forest. And basically the regulations are: you can't shoot over any rivers or streams or any bodies of water. You can't shoot over any designated service roads, National Forest service roads, or designated hiking trails. And if you are going to shoot, you can't shoot within 150 yards of a designated road or trail or campsite. So as long as you make sure you're about 150 yards away from a campsite or any road or trail that's actually marked and labeled, you should be fine. They do have regulations against, they prohibit the use of tracer ammunition or any incendiary ammunition. If you are going to shoot out there, they don't want anybody starting a fire by accident. And the targets they would prefer that you use would be like a steel target, something that's not going to, come apart into pieces, and then, so you're not going to leave debris out there, other than the actual bullets themselves, the copper and lead and whatnot. So when I got on their website and I made sure, I was like, okay, well, I can follow all of these regulations, right? Oh, and when you set up a shooting area, obviously when you're done, you need to collect your shell casings and, basically leave it as clean, if not cleaner, when you leave than it was when you got there. And then, collect your target. You can't leave it out there. So setting up a shooting range, long distance shot area in the National Forest is not going to be a permanent thing. It's going to have to be set up and taken down every time you go, which is, that's somewhat inconvenient, but it's more about the journey than the destination, I guess. So I've figured out all the rules and regulations there, and then I started scouting on the maps, the topo maps that they have on their website, and then I was also cross-referencing them with satellite photos using Google Maps, to where it took me a few days of looking, but I finally found an area that looks like it's viable for a long distance shot. There's 3 or 4 mountain tops that I'd be shooting from the tallest one and shooting towards the 3 shorter ones. And with those ranges, they range from, depending on which other hilltop I'm shooting to, it ranges from 1,370 yards all the way up to 2,200 yards. As far as what I could measure, just measuring using Google Maps. So those distances are going to give it probably vary by 100 yards or so once we actually get out there and actually look at where we're going to have to set the target up. So, but beyond doing all this research and stuff online and searching online for an area, I went ahead and contacted the ranger station for that area, and they didn't have, ooh, that's a nice deer right there. Go, buddy, go. Alright, but anyways, they had, dang, there's a bunch of them right there. Wow. they didn't really have any information for me when I contacted them. So basically, the lady said that, she's like, I've worked here for over 30 years and nobody has ever asked me about extreme long range shooting on national forest land. She said that I know people do go out there and sight in guns and, in some areas and shoot that aren't at designated ranges, because the National Forest Service does have ranges, and so does the Game and Fish Commission. They do have ranges that are free and open to the public, but when it comes to shooting in excess of 1,000 yards or even 2,000 yards, there is no designated area for that. So she really had no information for me, and other than that, she got the head ranger or the head law enforcement officer that works for the ranger service or the forest service. She gave him my information, and he contacted me yesterday, gave me a phone call yesterday, and basically said that all of the research that I'd done was great, and the area that I've marked out on a map, because I sent them an idea of where I wanted to shoot at, they said that it looks great, it should be fine to shoot there, and as long as I'm not violating any local or federal laws, he said to his knowledge it was perfectly fine to set up a long-range shooting area there. All that he asks is that I obviously don't shoot within 150 yards of a road or trail, and then don't leave any trash behind when I'm done. So yeah, I mean, that's great information for anybody out there that's looking for an area to long range shoot on. No, I didn't really think about it until I started, just like trying to really hard find an area, and apparently in the National Forest, it's legal as long as you abide by their criteria. It should be perfectly fine to shoot there. Now, I do recommend, if you're going to do this, and if you're going to do the same thing I'm doing, I would recommend contacting the ranger station in that area, and and make sure that let them know what your plans are, and then make sure it's okay with them, because some areas have different restrictions than other areas. So you want to make sure you're not breaking any of those restrictions or anything. I don't want anybody to get out there and say, oh, well, Grant said it was fine on his YouTube channel, I can just go out here and shoot. Don't do that. Do your research and make sure it's okay in your area where you are, because if you don't, you could potentially get in trouble. But in the area that I am, it's okay. The ranger officer, he actually emailed me and sent me an email stating that basically it was okay, that I had done my research, and he confirmed that in the area where I'm planning on setting up and shooting is perfectly legal, and just as long as I clean up when I'm done. So anyways, I just want to give you guys an update on that, and maybe it'll help some of you guys out, because I know finding a long distance shooting area, a gun range that stretches out to 2,000 yards is, those ranges aren't everywhere. There's only one here in Arkansas that stretches out that far that's actually a gun range, and to become a member there, it's like a $500 sign-up fee, and then I don't know, $80 or $90 a month to be a member. And I'm not going to shoot enough at that distance to justify paying that much money, a couple $1,000s a year just for a range membership. It's not going to happen. So if I go out, and this will be one of those things where I go out maybe once or twice a month and shoot, or maybe once every couple months and shoot, and just for, it's just for fun. I'm not gonna really try to do this competitively or anything. I just want to test out my skill with shooting long range. I want to test out all the knowledge that information that I've gathered as far as how to use my scope and judge distance and account for wind and elevation and temperature and humidity and all that stuff, and barometric pressure, because I think the science of it is really, really cool to me, and I just want to go out there and have fun with it. So hope this information helps you guys, and anyways, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time in the next video. Thanks for watching.